morning. It's Fun Fact Friday. Yay! If you haven't watched it, go watch my Wacky Wednesday. I totally cracked myself up, but it made my day, so hopefully it'll make your day too. Won't tell you what Wacky Wednesday is. You got to go watch. Alrighty then. My grandson gets a calendar with weird facts. It's called Mental Floss Amazing Facts. You know, like tooth floss, I guess, only to remount your brain. I'm doing them upside down and backwards. I'm not going to do them all. There's like 22 here, so I'll do maybe half, and then in a couple weeks I'll do the other half. By then I'll have some more because we get one a day. Alrighty, this goes back to April. Well, it is April, but it goes back to April 2nd. On April 18th, 1830, Good Friday, that year was Good Friday, the BBC reported there is no news. Instead, they played piano music. That's funny because, you know, who wants to listen to that doom and gloom all the time, especially on Good Friday? BBC, in case you don't know, is British Broadcasting Corporation, and it's the main television network in Great Britain. All right. Adding bubbles to your bath keeps the water warm for a longer amount of time. I don't take baths anymore because I don't have one. The only one, well, there's one upstairs that the kids use that, no. And there's one of my son and daughter-in-law's room. It's this nice big tub, but, you know, it's off of their bedroom. So unless they're like out of town or something, then I might use it. But it's getting hard for me to get up in and out of a tub, especially one that deep, because it's one of those super deep, probably 2.5, 3 feet deep, maybe. So, anyway, so I take showers. But what I don't know, because since I stopped taking baths, these things became a big thing, or bath bombs, do they make bubbles, or do they just put like an oil or skin softener or something in? I don't even know. So if you're just doing bath bombs and they don't make bubbles, add some bubble stuff. That was March 22nd, so I've got these really out of order, but it doesn't matter. Do you love the smell of rain? That's also known as petrichor, Petrichor, from the Greek petra, meaning stone, and ichor, meaning blood of the gods and goddesses. The term was coined by 2 Australian researchers in 1964, but was popularized in 2011 when it was used in an episode of Doctor Who. I don't know why stone and blood of the gods has anything to do with rain. That's just weird. But Doctor Who, I've watched him on and off. There's been, I don't know, 11, 12 different Doctor Who's. It's been going on for years and years and years, but occasionally they'll have a new guy come in and be Doctor Who. And I don't know, I don't remember if they just don't tell you and it's just a new actor, or if they kill off the old guy and bring in a new guy. Doctor Who has this thing that looks like it looks like one of those red telephone booths that are popular in London back in the day. They still have them, I guess. And you go into that and it's his sort of spaceship thing, but he goes between time and space and universes and has all these adventures. And if you haven't watched Doctor Who, there's a bunch of episodes to watch. You can go way back and watch from the beginning or start whenever you want. All right. Scientists have found evidence of takeout restaurants in the remains of Pompeii. Now, I should have looked this up. Pompeii was a city in Italy, and there was a volcano that erupted, and it was so fast that there was like, everything was just like the people and the dogs and the shopping cart, the carts, whatever. They were all just sort of maintained in their, like a guy standing there going, ah, and he'd be, it was like almost like a statue. So they, kind of chinked off the stuff and looked at it, I guess the archaeologists did. But a takeout restaurant, that's interesting. How did they know that? I mean, it was all covered with lava. How did you know it was a takeout restaurant? That's my question. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a couple more of these. There's a basketball court located above the Supreme Court. It's referred to as the highest court in the land. Yeah, technically. I mean, I thought the Supreme Court was the highest court in the land, but there's a basketball court above them, so that's the highest court in the land. Oh, how many have I done? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half done. Madam C.J. Walker is thought to be America's first self-made female millionaire. Born to sharecroppers in 1867, she made her fortune selling beauty products for black women. Wow. 1867. I mean, a millionaire back in those days, that's like a billionaire in today's money. That's a lot of bucks back in those days. It's a lot of bucks now, for that matter. Beethoven was a barista's worst nightmare. My granddaughter was a barista for 2 years. She was thinking about trying to get a job over the summer, but now she just got accepted to go on this mission trip that goes to Namibia, I think I should pronounce it, in Africa for 3 weeks. So that would kind of preclude her getting any kind of job over the summer. He enjoyed a good cup of coffee. Let me go back to the beginning. Beethoven was a barista's worst nightmare. He enjoyed a good cup of coffee, was extremely particular about its preparation. He insisted that each cup he consumed be made with 60 beans. Boy, that seems like that would be really strong. I mean, coffee beans are not small, and 60 of them ground up, that would be maybe a quarter cup of ground coffee in 1 cup. That would be super strong. I mean, I'm envisioning this because I don't drink coffee, so I could be wrong, but seems 60 beans seems like a lot for 1 cup. This one's a long one. Look how long that is. Alrighty, brothers F. Nephi, Nephi, Grigg, and Golden Grigg. What is wrong with this mother and these names? I wonder what the F stood for if the rest of the names are so bad. The F was probably really something wacky. Founded the Oregon Frozen Foods Company, later known as Ore-Ida, in Ontario, Oregon in 1952. It was Ore-Ida because it was right on the split between Oregon and Idaho, and they got the potatoes from Idaho, and they were in Oregon, so that's where the Ore-Ida came from, in case you didn't know that. One of the first items was frozen French fries. And after seeing all the potato scraps they had left over, they came up with an idea. By chopping up the potato parts, seasoning them, and molding them into pellets, they were able to create a new product, tater tots. Did you ever make, I don't make it anymore, but when my kids were little, did you ever make, is that recipe where it's like ground beef on the bottom, and then layer of tater tots, and then cream of anything soup. Cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, cream of sour, whatever, cream of whatever soup. And you thin that out a little bit with some milk, and you drizzle it over the top and bake that baby, and that would be dinner. Maybe throw a vegetable in with it, not in it, but to the side of it. That was a big deal back in the 70s, I guess, when I was making it for my kids, maybe 80s. China owns all of the pandas in the world. They rent them out for about $1 million a year. I wonder if that's each or total combined. I would bet it's each. Because when zoos have pandas, they get quite the quite the amount of traffic, especially if one of them ends up having a baby. 2, 3, I want to split these in half. 4, should be counting as I go, but I get sidetracked. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Since there's 22 of them, I'm going to do 2 more. That would make it be 11. The zoo thing, when I was a teenager, I lived in San Diego. And San Diego has one of the best zoos in the world. It was one of the first zoos that had, you know, more the natural habitat instead of the cages where it'll have like a moat so they can't get out, but just, you know, rocks to climb on and trees and all that kind of stuff for the animals, so it's more natural for them. And I used to go to stay at the zoo a lot, and I think I told this story before, but stop me if you've heard it. No. I'm going to tell it anyway. When I was 15 maybe, because I wasn't driving yet, I summer interned at the San Diego Zoo, and I lived about 20 miles away. I would take a bus down in the morning and spend the day or spend the morning doing whatever chore they wanted, you know, cleaning out cages or feeding animals or whatever they needed me to do. And then at like, I'd work from like 9 to noon maybe, something like that. 8 to noon, I forget. Probably 8 to noon, maybe 9 to noon. Anyway, 4 hours. And then the rest of the day, I could just stay there and wander around and take the bus around and do zoo stuff. So I did that one whole summer. It was a lot of fun. So I told you that story before, I know, but I'm telling it again in case new people haven't heard it. Ted Giesel. Okay, who is that? It's Geisel, Geisel, Ted Giesel. Geisel. Okay, here's your test. Who is it? I'm listening. Did you say Dr. Seuss? You're right. Dr. Seuss was never one to back down from a challenge. So when editor Bennett Cerf, used to be on game shows too. I remember Bennett Cerf, but this was back in the 50s maybe, a long time, the 60s or maybe at the latest. When Bennett Cerf dared him to write a book using no more than 50 different words, he went right to work. The result was Green Eggs and Ham. I used to read that all the time. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them on a boat. I do not like them with a goat. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I still remember that from reading it. But the moral of the story is like, the one character keeps trying to get the other character to eat green eggs and ham, and he won't do it, doesn't like him this, and that. And then at the very end, he finally tastes them, and he's like, oh, I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam I am. So I had a very picky eater kid, so I used to read him this story all the time, trying to get it in his head to just try it, maybe you'll like it. My grandson is like that too. He's like, won't even try it. I mean, he might like it if we try it, but he won't even try it most of the time. He says, I'm not a picky eater. I would eat it. I just wouldn't like it. So I choose not to eat it. Isn't that the definition of a picky eater? All right, last one. I hope you're enjoying these. If, it was just an idea for Fridays. If nobody's enjoying them, let me know, and I'll find something else to do on Fridays. Coca-Cola produces a modified version of Coke that switches out light fructose corn syrup for sucrose so that it's kosher for Passover. In addition to being labeled as such, the bottles are topped with yellow caps for easy identification. Well, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed them. But they're probably more prevalent in areas with like New York City's got this one part of New York City that's got a large Jewish population. So it's, you probably see them on the shelves there, but not so much out here in Texas. I mean, there's Jewish people here, but just not a concentrated. They're like here, sprinkled around. It's not a concentrated group of Jewish people. So that's today's interesting facts. Fun fact Friday. So I hope you enjoyed it. I've got my blue sweater on that I've had forever. It's one of those kangaroo pockety ones. And then I've got blue pants to match. And my granddaughter's like, you shouldn't wear stuff that's matchy-matchy. It looks funny. And woo, 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 woo. Well, she's not here. Plus, I don't care because I'm not going anywhere. It's comfy. These are like jeggings. The pants are jeggings, and then the sweaters, you know, like it's close as I'll get to a sweatshirt. You all know the story of why I won't wear sweatshirts. If you don't, I'll tell it again. Years ago, I went out on disability, and then there was like a 2-year period where I had something wrong with me and they couldn't figure it out, and I wasn't allowed to drive, so I was just stuck in the house all the time, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. And I don't get real depressed, but I must have been somewhat depressed because I just slept around the house, no makeup. Of course, I hadn't worn makeup in years, so that was nothing new. I'd rather spend the time sleeping than putting on makeup when I was going to work. I just slept around in sweats, you know, sweatpants, sweatshirts. And then once I got Stitch Fix, and then it just encouraged me to start wearing makeup and dressing better. And then now here I am today, buying all kinds of stuff, getting all kinds of makeup. So I don't like sweatshirts. I very, very seldom wear them because it harkens back to that sloppy period in my life, and I just know. So this is a sweater shaped like a sweatshirt. See, it's got the hood and everything. So this is as close as I'll get to a sweatshirt. I do have one that's got my granddaughter's soccer number on it that I used to wear to her soccer games. You know, it's got her name and soccer number on the back, but she's off in college now. So I am going to, next video I have a new subscription. It's called Sips By, and it's tea. So we'll see what that's all about. I hope you all have a good weekend. It's finally here. Yay. I kind of like this. And I will talk to you again. If I get any boxes this weekend, I'll do them. And I'm going to do this Sips By one tomorrow. Or maybe do it today and upload it tomorrow. But probably won't do anything Sunday. My granddaughter's coming home from college for good. Well, not for good, for the summer. Tonight, well, I kind of hope she doesn't tonight. I hope she waits till tomorrow, but she really is tired of being at college and wants to be home. She's homesick, but it's supposed to rain and thunder and lightning and hail and all that stuff, and it's almost a 4-hour drive, so I'm kind of hoping she decides to just stay where she is till there's better weather tomorrow, but we'll see. Pray for safe journeys for her. I had to contact, I still never got my Luxury Diva box for April, and it says it shipped on the 31st of March, or 30th, I guess it was. And so I looked it up, the tracking, and it goes UPS, and then it gets delivered to the post office, and then it gets delivered to you. That's how that one works. And it says it was picked up, but it says on April 5th it was out for delivery, and on April 6th it was in transit. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then that was kind of the last. And so then I went on the UPS website and found that information out. So then I went on the USPS website, and theirs said that they had been notified it was coming, but they never received it. So I'm like, So then I called them both up, and UPS said, oh, we gave it to the postal people. And the postal people said, oh, we never got it. So they're both like blaming each other, but it's out there somewhere. I never got it. So I thought, well, the only thing I can do is call up Luxury Diva and tell them what's going on and see if they'll send me another box. And they said they'd gladly send me another box. And if that other box ever shows up, they said just keep it. So if I end up with a second box, I doubt it. I think it's just lost forever. It's been almost a month, so it's just who knows where. But if it ever does show up, I'll do a giveaway for it because who needs 2 of them? It looks like a really cute box. I didn't like last month's box at all. I gave it all to you guys, which, you know, I don't want to spend $30 every month just to give it to you guys. No offense. I want to keep some of it for me. So this box, I watched other people's videos. I know, I ruined it, but I got so frustrated that it didn't come that I started watching other videos, and it's got some really cute stuff. So I can't wait for it to get here. So I got that coming. My ice cream. If you haven't seen that one, it's a makeup one. It's $20. And I think you get 5 full-size items, or maybe 1 or 2 of them are luxury samples, deluxe samples, whatever they call them. But you always get a full-size palette, big palette. So that's coming eventually. It hasn't shipped yet. And this just got here, this T1. What else do I have? Diva Bag by Sonia. It usually comes way at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month. My next Stitch Fix, I do a quarterly one, is coming on May 5th or 6th, somewhere around there. It was supposed to come the 18th, and I moved it up a couple weeks, just because. All right, done talking. Other than, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Glad to have you. If you're old, no, I'm the one that's old. If you've been one of my loyal subscribers, thank you. Love you all. Really appreciate you being here. And if you're new, or if you haven't noticed it, go back to the 15th, which is what, a little over a week, and watch that video, because it's a 13-person collab and we're all giving gifts away. So go back and subscribe to everybody and sign up for 1, 2, all 13, however many you want, giveaways. So maybe you'll win something. That's 13 chances. That's pretty good odds. Have a good weekend. Love you all.